Just be here with your eyes closed. ये सच्चाई को जानने के लिए हमारे पास सिर्फ यही यंत्र है. To know and perceive this reality, we have only one way, which is immediately and readily and directly available, which is our own self. And to understand this self, let us first understand what it is not, to start with. Later on we will see that what it is not is also what is, but for now, in the first step, let us see what it is not. So if we ask ourselves the question, if we want to know, what am I truly? What am I really? Then we must first take away what I am not. So whatever I am, I don't know what it is. But whatever I am is what it is only if it is that always. Whatever it always is what it really is. So it's something which is not always. Just like my clothes cannot be the true I, because one day it is this shirt, another day it is some other shirt, another day it is some third shirt. So the shirt, the clothes cannot be I, because it is changing. If I can change it and still remain the same person, then I cannot be that thing. So that gives us a way to see so many things that we are not. And we have always thought that we are those things. But now let us see what those are. For example, we think we are our body, because this seems like one of the most permanent aspects of ourselves is our physical form, our physical reality, our physical body. But this body has changed and is continuously changing. Minute to minute, moment to moment, this body is changing. And yet, you remain the same. If you ask yourself, when I was 7 years old, was I the same me or was it a different me? You will find that you will see that even when you were 7, you were the same. But the body is very different from what it was at 7, and yet I remain me. So I cannot be the body. How about my mind, which is made up of thoughts? My thoughts come and go, my thoughts change. Moment to moment they change. Hundreds of thoughts come and go. Uninvited, unbidden, on their own they come and go. And no matter what thought comes and what thought goes, I remain I. So I cannot be my thoughts. I cannot be my feelings. My feelings change every minute. No matter how desperate some feelings become, how intense some feelings become, they come and go. So I cannot be my feelings. My senses, my perception, I cannot be my perception. Whatever I touch, whatever I taste, whatever I smell, whatever I hear comes and goes. And yet I remain. I cannot be those. I cannot be my friends change. I cannot be my relatives change. I cannot be my knowledge changes. I cannot be my memories change. The essence of who I am is not that, it's not that. And when I drop everything that I can possibly drop, saying it is not that, I arrive at a place which cannot be dropped. This knowing, I cannot drop this knowing. I cannot drop this experiencer of all these things. The one who is experiencing thoughts, the one who is experiencing the body, the one who is experiencing feelings, that experiencer, can I ask yourself if you can stop experiencing or drop the experiencer? You will find that the experiencer cannot be dropped. Who will be there to drop the experiencer? Who will be there to know that the experiencer got dropped? It cannot happen. This experiencer of all that is, everything can be reduced down, but this experiencer cannot be dropped, cannot be reduced. So just like in the paper we saw, the high can be, behind the high is the emotion of exuberance, the feeling, the thought. But behind all of that is that experiencer who experienced whatever was experienced and expressed it in the high. And on the other side is the one who experienced the high, received the high, again as a thought, again as a feeling. But even behind that thought, behind your feeling, you arrive at the same experiencer. And the one which is experiencing and animating you, your body, your mind, and the one which is animating me and my mind, what is the nature of that experiencer? That is the second step. We look at what is that? What is that like? The one which is experiencing all of this. What is it like? And we don't have to go far. We don't have to read many books. We just have to look. No dependency on anything but your own experience. And we look and we find that this experiencer, this unchanging, colorless, boundless, if you keep asking yourself the questions, what is it like? What is the shape? What is the color? What is the size? What is its nature? We will find this empty, open, peaceful, endless, limitless, beginningless, endless space. From which everything emerges. we find that it accepts all experiences that appear in it, all thoughts that appear, it thinks those thoughts which appear. That experiencer feels all the feelings that are felt without filtering, without judging, without excluding. All that appears, it becomes one with those. So acceptance and whatever is the truth. So acceptance, truth, beauty, peace, love can be directly felt as qualities of this which you arrive at, which is the experiencer of your experience. Your experiencer has no judgments. It simply takes whatever is as is. And this is the definition of love. Love is simply taking what is as is, without judgment, without modification, without qualification, without labels. So this is the nature of who you are, who you really are. This is the you from which everything emerges. So the first step was not that, neti neti. The second step is knowing the nature of who you really are, which is Atma Gun Gyan, knowing the self, experiencing the self, understanding the self. And the third step, we go back into everything that we dropped in step number 1 and ask ourselves the question, what is it made of? Yes, it is I. We saw in the first step that thoughts are not I because they come and go. Now in this third step we ask ourselves the question, these thoughts which come and go, what are they made of? Notice that this open empty awareness or experiencer or consciousness or God or whatever we call it is the same before the thought appears, and when the thought disappears, it returns to its former way that it was. So if there is something from which something appears, and that something else disappears and again goes back to that same thing that was there before, what must that second thing be made of? So there is one entity A, and then entity B appears from it and disappears back into it. What must entity B be made of? If something emerges from an ocean and disappears back into an ocean like a wave, what must that wave also be made of? Can it be any different than what the ocean is made of? It must be made of only the ocean. So thoughts are made up only of, ultimately made up of the thinker. The true reality of a thought is the knowing of the thought. Without the knowing, there is no thought. And without the knower, there is no knowing. So the reality of the thought is the experiencer, awareness. Just like the word on the paper does not exist without the paper, thoughts do not exist without the experiencer, and is the true reality of it. Similarly, feelings are made of nothing but that same I. We can call it the experiencer or consciousness or divine or source or presence or God and so many other names. But the simplest name that we can give it is I. Thoughts are made up of I. Feelings are made up of I. There is only I. The body is made up also of I. The entire reality, the entire universe is made up of nothing but our senses and perceptions of it, which are made up of nothing but the knowing of those perceptions, which is made up of nothing but the I. So in this third step, we re-enter the world, we re-enter the universe, including and knowing that everything is me. When everything is I, what is there not to love? So while these three steps we can understand and appreciate and experience in a matter of minutes, the living of that experience, the expression of that experience is a lifelong journey of celebration. It's a lifelong journey of celebrating this entire reality because there is nothing to fight. It is all I. There is nothing to resist. And we are left with only celebrating all that there is. Left free to play the game of all these realities of perception and sensations and thoughts and feelings in whatever direction we want. But knowing fully that all is I, all is I, all is I. And understanding this in different situations, different places, different times, different people, different interactions, different expressions of this same reality becomes this endless, lifelong adventure of discovery. Because every time we look at it from a different viewpoint, we see another aspect of this same magical, infinite reality. of consciousness, experiencing and loving and expressing consciousness, of peace and beauty and truth in so many different ways, losing itself and then finding it again in this endless, limitless, boundless journey into freedom and love. Wonderful.